Well, good morning, everybody. Darren Saul, your host of Playing with Perspective, the Suspended Animation Podcast, episode 108 today. And we're going to be chatting all about brand standing, creating better versions of our business and life with the fantastic May Chang. Hello, May.
Hello and good morning. I'm so chuffed to be talking to you, Darren.
Thank you for coming on the show. And as I mentioned just before, branding and marketing is one of my huge passions.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we share a lot of similar views. So I'm very interested in having a really in-depth conversation about your insights with regards to branding and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just give everybody a little bit of an insight into who May is. So May Chang is from Agility Marketing. It was founded to create awesome brand standing for its clients in the for-purpose sector, achieving social impacts beyond ROI. May is a branding coach and marketing implementation specialist, skilled at advancing communications and relationships across her clients' sphere of engagement. So once again, welcome to the show, May Chang.
Thank you, Darren. I am so passionate, particularly about our responsibility towards our brand standing.
Yeah. So let's actually, before I get into brand standing, because I'm dying to know what brand standing means to you, but tell us a bit more about your journey. How did you get into marketing? Why are you so passionate about branding and marketing? I'd love to hear the backstory.
You won't believe it, but as a young child, I was always what call the wallpaper. I love to observe, and after observing, then you try and contribute.
Yep.
But most of the time, it's kind of seeing the world and saying, "Hey, how does it apply to me?"
Yeah.
And from there, it's having that sense of curiosity and interest towards people, strangers, because all of us, there's a story in us. And that led to working in the corporate world and being in the front line, both in customer roles whereby it's you're an account manager, you're the sales executive, you're the business development manager. All the time it's this peak of curiosity about how else can we provide a more succinct solution, a solution that has a robust framework. And that curiosity has always driven me to understand, or to try and understand, how then do you have a better understanding of customers' behavior so that you could provide solutions. And that took me into both sales and the marketing aspects. And then later on, it's all linchpinned by our brand, whether we like it or not. Both on a business and on a personal level, even by doing nothing, you are projecting your brand.
100%. And I love the way you said that. Customer behavior is key. So I've always loved to observe as well. I'm also an observer. And I love just watching people's behavior. And that's why I love marketing so much, because it's based on behavior and psychology. It's like a game. But it is, if you're a great observer and you like to observe and you understand behavior, you can learn to become a great marketer.
Yeah, totally. That's right. And it's kind of nothing sinister behind it. It's that if you have that mindset of be in service, then you want to provide the most beautiful customer experience, customer journey.
Yes.
Right. And it's not about thinking, okay, I'm one step ahead of my customer, my client, my staff, but because you're that in service mentality and mindset, you say, how else can I provide this beautiful service that in the end, or solution or product that in the end that relationship is been built on, enhanced, and that whole sales process that is kind of been talked about. That how do you let a person first of all meet you, like you, know you, and trust you?
I like that.
If you enjoy that part about a person in the end coming to trust you, that they don't doubt your belief in them, that they want to have, and that's comes up back to customer loyalty in the end.
Definitely. And I think if you can, as you say, if you can do that work up front to get people to trust you, like you, and you have credibility, you almost don't even have to ask for the sale. They will ask for the sale themselves.
Quite so. And that itself, it's a journey, because we know that there's many touch points and many kind of content engagement points before somebody gets to know you. Particularly in now the period of the pandemic, whereby your brand reach no longer need to be contained.
That's right.
Locally.
Yep.
Right. You don't need to meet a person physically to say, hey, let me exchange business card with you. Let us now, work on getting to know each other. Now you have this whole platform, virtual digital platform, whereby your brand reach can go beyond the shores of Australia, around, globally, and people get to know you before they actually meet you.
Definitely. I hardly carry any business cards anymore because I don't need them.
That's right.
Yep.
So, and also sometimes we do not need to, provide our business all over the world. But that doesn't mean that there's any less benefit in having a brand known, because earlier on, Darren, we talked about responsibility, right? When you have a brand, you have a responsibility.
Yes.
And it's important to take that a bit seriously, because your brand is your identity.
Definitely.
And if you take it, if you feel responsible for it, then you will behave accordingly.
Definitely. I love that. Very true. I love it. So May, let's chat about that term brand standing. Talk to us a bit about that. What does that mean? And elaborate on that for us.
Okay, so if you take this scenario whereby you don't have an audience, if you don't have an audience and you're just one person, do you need a brand? Do you need marketing? Probably not. But the minute that you have an audience or people around you, there is a responsibility about where you stand in regards to the people, the community. And here, when you introduced me about the sphere of engagement, everything, every party that is around us, from your prospect, your clients, your staff, your community, even business partners, those that that your business, you play in the sector or the industry or the community that you're in, there is an impression of what your brand stands for.
Definitely.
If you do nothing in terms of marketing, and there's no competition, you're probably likely to be where you want to be. The minute there is choice and people know that and there's competition, whether it's friendly or it's not, you don't do anything, guess what? Your brand is likely to slide down.
That's right.
If you do something, but not very sexy or effective, probably you are where you are. You're just maintaining your status quo.
Yep.
If you do something exciting, something, oh, I'm so sorry.
Well,
1 minute. I'm just going to turn this off. Beg your pardon. If you do something effective in your marketing and your branding, you are likely to be moving your brand standing. Hopefully, the long-term objective is to be at the top of the ladder or the chain.
Yes, absolutely.
So that your brand, your name, it's on the lips of the people that you want to make an impression on.
Perfect.
So always our responsibility is, or hopefully our business goals and our marketing goals is to move that dial so that it keeps on improving in alignment with your strategic goals. Does that?
Yep, that answers my question perfectly. And here's a question that I hear people ask all the time, particularly to marketing and branding specialists. And people ask me this as well. So I'd be interested to hear your reaction to this.
Okay.
What is the difference, and is there a difference between branding and marketing?
I think brand itself can hold also different elements of it. Your brand is in your brand identity.
Yep.
Yeah. There is also a brand promise, which is part of that identity. What does agility marketing stand for? Well, it's actually, in this case, built on several business values. One of them is provide value and more.
Yep.
Because what is the outcome of that? If you keep on providing more value, your clients would say, hey, agility marketing or this particular business has my interest at heart. They're always watching out to see what my needs are, my challenges are. And not only do they address it, but they actually even anticipate and create awareness of the things that I should be doing to improve my brand.
Definitely.
So that's brand, right? But the marketing term is about the actual implementation of your brand objectives.
Ah, yes,
right.
Nicely put.
I think so that's the implementation arm of your brand. So I would say marketing is a subset of brand.
Yes.
Because you can have a brand and you don't communicate, you don't communicate to your staff, you don't communicate to your spheres of engagement, and the minute you do, you're using marketing activities and marketing campaigns to help you do that, so that you are doing target marketing, because all different groups within your cluster or sphere of engagement will need to be communicated in a slightly different way.
Perfect. So marketing is the execution or the strategy of how you build your brand.
That's right.
And you can have marketing objectives for other things, but even as a byproduct, your brand is always being either built or maintained or actually reversed, depending on how effective.
Yeah, I think that's it's good to keep things as simple, because brand and marketing, and also marketing can be also quite simplified, because there's the social media marketing, there's the digital, which is everything that we can channel through that is not print. Right, but you also have your printed marketing, your letterbox drops, your billboards, etc. Even billboards have now got electronic, so it's in a way digital, right? But there are so many aspects of it, and that could be oversimplified, because we think, oh, okay, in order to take to all these channels, we just need to provide content.
Yes.
But you may have different expertise providing different parts in this whole supply chain.
Yes.
Somebody who gets it about your industry, your culture, can be very good at writing the content, but may not be the expert at the copywriting bit of it, right?
True.
But the copywriter is very, it's a league of their own. They just know how to use, they're the wordsmith.
Exactly.
They know how to use the words that just go pinpoint, very succinct, and hit the market.
Yep.
But the copywriter may not be able to actually write what is reflective of that particular industry or that particular business.
Very true.
It's actually a little bit harder to find one resource that can wear several hats.
100%.
It is a very fine line, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's why this whole area is so fascinating to me. But for example, I mean, agility marketing. Tell us a bit about how you build your brand and how you brand stand for your business.
Thank you. So with agility marketing, even with the business name itself, it's about how can I help my clients market in an agile way. Mm-hmm. So which means that, hey, it's actually built on several business values. One of them is stay agile. And that agile can actually contain, three elements of it. If you're agile mentally, that means you're always kind of buzzing, you're curious about how can I work out a better solution. It's not going to be the same old solution of one size fits all with various different, with your group of clients. So it must be, in a way, customized, yeah? Because, and it will also be quite boring if you are to kind of dish out the same solution. Boring for a number of us, or maybe there are some who has found a recipe whereby it's a cookie cutter. Yeah. But I think we have to acknowledge and honor that every client is different. That's why they're special and have their place in the market. So we have to, reflect that situation in the solutions that we build. Mm-hmm. Agility on the physical, I have to take responsibility of keeping myself nice and healthy. And if I exercise, then I actually create a space whereby, I am actually, pumped after the exercise. Yeah. And there are so many benefits of, that agility, that physical agility itself.
Definitely.
Yeah. But also there's another aspect, the emotional agility. If you can walk into the room and people, feel that, hey, you're positive, you're actually passing that kind of, indirectly, that whole positive can-do attitude. And provide, let's say you're also empathetic about the situation they're in. Those you call interpersonal skills. Yeah. I would also reflect that as part of the emotional agility that is part of my brand. And so to me, it's very important to take some time as business owners to really reflect on what are the values that build up your brand, and most of the time it's already instilled in us, through our upbringing, or if there has been a challenging upbringing, you reinforce and discover things that makes you resilient. And then what are those values? And if you can use those values to filter out through your brand to deliver that to your clients, how wonderful and how uncomplicated things become.
And how much fun you can have when you're working so authentically as well.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. I love it, mate. And I want to just add, I love the way you put that in terms of 3 forms of agility: mental, physical, and emotional. And I would say even emotional agility, you could also reflect on a person's ability to take knockbacks and no's and continue to go forward, even though, they don't always achieve success every single day. You have to keep going forward until you achieve what you want to achieve. And so you need the emotional strength and resilience,
That's right.
which is kind of part of emotional agility as well, I would say.
Quite so, quite so. It's that whole mindset and attitude.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
do get that knock back, sometimes acknowledge it by staying down.
yeah,
Stay down, be still, catch your breath,
yeah. Reflect.
dust it off, and bounce back up again.
Yep. I love it. Fantastic, mate. So tell us more about your business. Do you work with any particular clients or any particular niches?
Mhm. Um, I throughout my corporate life have in between kind of working, have also considered about giving back to the communities that we live
Yeah,
in. And this is where I've encountered working with non-for-profits.
fantastic.
Their mindset is, and their whole attitude is of that of serving,
Yeah,
right?
that'd be
And the
beautiful.
focus is all about, the client, the patient that they are working with.
Yeah,
So there's the operational and the customer service excellence.
yeah,
And that social kind of like social enterprise focus.
yeah. Like
Um,
making people's lives better. That's what their main concern is. How do we make our people's lives better?
that's right. So if you focus on that and focus in what I call a customer-centric approach, in the end, solutions will fall in place, revenue will also fall in place.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it to be able to work with for purpose sector, and for purpose doesn't mean some would say it non-for-profit means you don't make profit. I totally disagree with that.
Yeah,
Successful non-for-profits are very good at making profit, but what they do is they channel back the profit into the communities that they serve.
exactly.
Right. So, but they also have that additional element of focusing on the social outcomes and benefits
Yeah,
that can impact the societies that they work in and the communities they work in. That
definitely.
is why now a lot of corporates have very strong social corporate responsibilities, both statements as well as pillars where they can channel some of their work and direct, the focus for their staff, that their brand means beyond,
Yeah,
beyond thinking about just profit. It's about thinking about the betterment of society that we live in.
great. I love it.
So when you say who do I work with, I work with non-for-profits, but I also work with, there is a newer kind of development whereby businesses, for-profit businesses, are thinking that, hey, while we do this, there are impacts that we can make on a social level.
Yep,
And you can.
definitely.
Even a personal coach, right? By delivering service that allows their clients to feel better, that means they are creating healthier mindsets, healthier bodies, which is good for the well-being of their client. That's a bit of a social impact, isn't it?
Yes,
So if we keep on thinking about even in the for-profit world, there are many social impacts that can be articulated if we take the time uh, to uh, to actually craft that story.
true. And there are a lot of, I'm finding a lot of organizations now, small and large, that are really focusing a little more, to execute their social conscience and really trying to do things to give back to the society and give back to the world as well, which is lovely.
Making the world a better
Better
place,
place. Absolutely.
one person at a time.
I'm going to be careful. I think you're going to start singing now, mate.
No, we'll tap dance together.
So now there's one other question that I'd love to get a bit more insight into. And people always ask me this as well. What's the difference between your business brand and your personal brand? And which one should you work on first, or should you work on them together? So I'd love to have a little discussion about that, because everybody's always asking, what's more important, my business or my personal? And even to the point in social media, people ask, where should I post first, on my business page or my personal page? So let's have a chat about what's your view about business versus social brands.
Yes, let's unpack this together.
Yep.
I think there's, even in we're same person, right? Here, okay, you see the business part of me, or do I allow you to see the personal side of me, the personal brand?
That's right.
And the more I reflect on this, I find that there is so much commonality on the values that we are brought up with, the belief system. So if I rattle off some of the values that build up my business brand, I'll say give value, add value, comma, and give more. Nice. Because that way, if you think of it and follow that strand, the more you can give value to your clients, guess what? In the end, there is loyalty. In the end, there's a long-term relationship. Definitely. Right? I mentioned about one of my other business values, which is stay agile. It's anchoring yourself, about how, what's your mindset, what's your attitude towards service. Yeah. One of the other ones is be curious. I said, when you have a curious mindset, you don't care too much about whether you are the first to put up the hand to ask a silly or a stupid question. Exactly. More likely, because you're brave enough, you have asked it on and represented the rest of the audience who I wanted to ask. Exactly. And in the end, you get the answer, which then allows you to hopefully have a great insight or ask a better quality questions. Yeah, definitely. Right. So, so there are other values that I soon realized that it's actually part of my upbringing. Yeah. So that means that those values are also part of my personal values. I think the question is, which platform do you want to show your personal side? Is it Facebook? Or is it the business values on the business side? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter, etc.? Right. But even on Facebook, there's this kind of like emerging of what is business and personal.
Definitely. I think the lines are becoming blurred now as people are using their personal profiles, and I do it for business purposes and vice versa, because the lines are becoming blurred.
It's quite so. And also you in brand and marketing, we also advise clients as to, where do your end customers hang out? Yeah. Sometimes your service, your end customer is this particular client, but what if it's not the client that you're speaking to, but it's the family and the friends of the client that you need to speak to, the carer or the health provider? Yeah. You need to be influencing several different parties, and therefore you need to identify where would they search for you, where do they hang out. When you find them, what are you going to say? Yeah. So that means that you have to consider all your various go-to-market channels to see where they hang out. And where they hang out is where you need to craft the right story and the right tone of voice in order to relate and engage. So back to the question of personal and business branding. Can they sit in harmony? I hope so, because it's actually quite exhausting and confusing sometimes as to, oh, what did I say here versus what I said in this channel.
Right.
But it's all the same person to a certain degree. It's about whether I put on, wear this hat or take off this other hat, or can I leave both hats on and allow your audience, your tribe, your business partners, your referral partners, your strategic partners to get a glimpse of you, because that glimpse of you of being authentic, there is integrity. It may be a personal thing, but it's also a business thing. So if they can sit in harmony and really sometimes even merge together, why not?
Yeah, and I think that's very true, particularly in smaller businesses and solopreneur businesses, that
That's right.
in a harmonic way, you actually have a synergistic effect on your business if you do that.
I'm going to borrow some of those words.
With pleasure. Yes, I totally agree with you there. Now, May, everybody loves a story. Everybody loves a great story or a great case study. So I'm wondering if you have a story or two to tell us about how you might have helped clients, without mentioning any names, brands stand or work with their marketing to really make a difference to their business results.
Love to. One of my favorite is in the community service, community transport space, and it's a central service. It helps in New South Wales. There's about 50 of these community transport providers.
Yeah.
So it was set up to actually deliver a central transport service to those who transport disadvantage. So even though if there's access to public transport, but either through there's a language barrier, cultural diversity, or physically or mentally you're not able to do that, community transport can help in that respect.
Sure.
So the important part is then how do you take a brand but is providing essential service. So transport itself is not sexy, right?
Exactly.
It's A to B.
Yeah.
But the journey to collecting you and taking you over there can be so marvelous and exciting.
Yeah, the experience.
The experience, because by actually turning up on time, you are putting that you are creating that peace of mind for your client. Okay? The client doesn't get stressed out because you take the client and you deliver them safely to their appointment, whether it's a medical appointment, whether it's to go to work, whether it's a social, right? You're taking them there. But it's the experience, because when they get there on time, they know, yes, you fulfill, I have managed to make an appointment, I'm not stressed. Or if you're running a little bit late, the driver will then call the destination to say, sorry, we're running a little bit late. So it again takes that stress off the client.
Managing expectations properly, etc., etc.
Quite so. But there are also social trips whereby friendships are made. And that whole journey of you're able to take me to places where I haven't been before, or just breaking off the routine of our client being stuck at home, even with COVID, right? We have now, of course, there's all these COVID safe protocols that you have to put in terms of transport. So yes, we cannot take that many clients, But when you take clients, just for a breath of fresh air, taking them, changing the scenery as you take them for a drive to DY, RSL, or over to Balmoral, beach for a bit of afternoon tea, etc. It's breaking that monotony for their schedule.
Yeah.
So then, to a certain degree, transport is not just transport.
No.
It's about friendship. It's about social gatherings, right? It's about a life-saving, trip to the specialist to keep on receiving treatment.
Yeah.
So it's
peace of mind.
The peace of mind, right?
Yeah.
So it's about telling the story and engaging with content to say, hey, look out for your neighbor, your family who may be in need of transport, because we can get you there with a peace of mind.
Love it.
So yes, it takes something that is basic service into something that resonates with everybody, so that they are also, again, then taking that responsibility to look up for their community.
Beautiful. Love it. I love that. So it's really about identifying what it is that you do that is actually touching people in a better way, not just about the practical reason behind what you do, but what is it actually doing? Why are you doing it? How does it help somebody else? How does it make someone's life better? And then marketing using the right content to create awareness around that you do.
It's quite a privileged position that we are in, Darren, in terms of brand marketing, customer experience, and totally very honored to stumble into such a vocation.
Absolutely. I love it too. Well, thank you so much, May. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've learned so much, and I love your insights into branding and marketing, and all, particularly those three things with regards to agility really stuck in my head. I'm going to remember those as I'm going through the day. But if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
I hang out a lot on LinkedIn, so come and check me out, and let's connect and have a conversation. Thank you so much.
LinkedIn, your website, Facebook, and I'll put all the links to to all those places in the show notes as well. But been an absolute honor, May, to have you on the show. And I always like to ask my guest at the end, any final thoughts, anything that you want to leave us with today?
Well, yes, one final thought is that as we go about conducting our day, have this mindset of be in awe of your surroundings and of the people around you, because that helps it amplify your appreciation.
I love it. What a beautiful way to kind of set the tone for how you go about your day, if you think about things in those terms.
Thank you, Darren.
Beautiful. Well done. So everybody out there, I hope you've had a fantastic session, because I certainly have learned a lot. And if you're interested in really taking your branding to the next level and understanding how you can create those messages that are going to make a difference to your business, have a chat to May. And we'll be back very, very soon for another episode of the podcast. So everybody have a fantastic day, and bye for now.